Good morning, good evening, beautiful friends, brothers, sisters, lovers, cousins, enemies, ops. However you want to identify, that is your prerogative. I just wanted to take a moment, especially because I can be seen as very oppositional, defiant, angry, a million and one things. And it was beautiful. I was having a disagreement, funnily enough, with in one of my longer videos, I actually post about parenting by proxy. I have my own children. My children are teenagers now, and we are at a very interesting spot in our relationship because they are half Anglo and they're very much about capitalism, consumerism, all of the disgusting things that, funnily enough, I work against. And we'll unpack this, eventually. I'm trying to explain to them that perhaps they shouldn't put so much stock in things when, for example, I'm going to a parent teacher conference and in the welcome, teachers are great. TEECHERSGRATE from a third grader. Yeah, participation medals, language policing, us allegedly being worried about hurting other people's feelings. Let me go ahead and tell you that's a lie, because so many people love to try and corral me and put me in my place when I won't back down. And these are talks for other days. Why do you hate women? Why do you hate women of color? Why do people hate to think? Cringe, shock. So I've really been very disassociative, not from the world, from everybody else. I've shared talks about overthinking, just essentially after my 41 years, and trust, I don't think that I'm like the be all know all. I don't know it all. I only know what works for me. Don't ever try to give people advice. Just speak literally with authority and agency to what I know for me and what works, and you would be surprised how many feathers get ruffled in the process. And just, again, why are you so mean? Why are you so this? Why are you so that? The way that we don't seem to be grasping as people how inherently narcissistic we are, because stop, collaborate, and listen. Stop in the name of love. Stop and just get the fuck out of my face, whatever you prefer, okay? But let's just think a minute. You are smart. Your experience, your opinions, your feelings, everything is valid. You're experiencing this as only you can experience it because you're you. But for you to tell me what I'm doing, what my aim, what my intention is, because of how it hits, silly. So silly. Crazy making, just all of it. And then it goes deeper because we just don't even understand how, in a lack of having our needs met, we are all running around like, support my narratives. And we're making ourselves so weak and insane. And I just don't want it. Nobody likes you when you hold up that mirror, like facts. Jesus did one thing, literally. And people got it so twisted. He just tried to show everybody that they had agency and they had power. And they didn't actually have to do what they were told. And they crucified him. He collectively helped a lot of people. This is going to sound silly. He held that mirror up for people. He called that collective shadowing. I've shared in longer videos, this is going to be a longer video, it's past short now, but in some of my other videos I've just shared like how I have always felt wrong, how I felt evil, what have you. I learned how to read from the Bible, but it goes deeper. I haven't ever necessarily unpacked that because I do. I have on a one-on-one level. It's, again, when you open yourself up to people, their interpretations, and then all of that. But this is medicine, and I'm actually, at this point, I'm continuing to release all of the fear-based, do what you want. I do this because I hope something resonates, because I want to be of service, because it is an act of love. Even calling people in, even disagreeing, even having people have to question things, or then, if they blame me for attacking or, just trying to shrink down their identities when that is not the case. It is quite literally to say, do you even know who you are? And I'm not trying to hurt nobody. It's better to find out in controlled chaos than to have to learn, like I have, for example, in just learning who other people are, how they will not really challenge themselves. Essentially, for lack of a better way to put it, life has just rode me hard again and again and again. And I don't know, I'm not going out like that. But I can't be extraordinary. Like, you don't get it, guys. You really, really don't. Everyone that wants to, and when I say everyone, it's the royal assumptive generalizations, which we're not supposed to do. I'm talking about pretty much every connection that I have had to end in my life. It's very hard for me nowadays to kind of like want to let people in. I'm not trying to make it about me. Ooh, don't want to feel my feelings, but to talk about it. Because literally, it's like this weird litmus test, and I seem to be this backdrop where it's like, look, I know that you don't want to think that you can't emotionally regulate, and I know that you want to think you're going to show up and whatnot. There is just something about me, without meaning to, that apparently triggers people and just pushes them past their limits. And it's really weird. And I get it, because I actually, funnily enough, I do tend to, be the living embodiment of the island of misfit toys, because I love the darkness, so to speak, the ugly, the macabre, the trauma. I don't know if it's because I, sexually assaulted as a child. Then again, life. I often wonder if that set the predisposition for me to see the power dynamics, for example, because assault, and especially sexual assault, it's not just about, orgasm. It's about power. And I can't help but see the structures and the cruelty and the brutality. And no one wants to have the conversations. It's so difficult. I understand how people feel like beat down and just what have you. If you're ever looking for a laugh or to be like, has she gone off the deep end? Feel free to look at some of my comment feeds, because no longer am I just playing by these structures. Unfortunately, everything in place right now, we just need to admit, Earth has been a demo. It was the free trial run, and now we got to pay. Because we'd had the trial run, and what did we do? We burned that shit to the ground. So now we have to pay. We have to exercise discipline and caution. We have to consider how we're affecting people and the planet. I got sidetracked, but essentially most people that I've aligned with, eventually there comes a point when maybe we're both in crisis, because pretty strong. Everyone loves strength until it outs how weak they are. 'Tis true. Weakness isn't a bad thing. I'm also fragile like a bomb, not a flower, because eventually I just get tired of being the bigger person, and it's seriously like Dark Phoenix. The number of boys that I have had tell me that I terrify them, and God bless you, boys. It's talks for other days, because why should healthy masculinity be about a strong, capable, confident woman needing to shrink herself? And then more importantly, just the ways that so many of the men that have aligned in my life, and we're talking potentially romantic partners, by the way, that just need kind of fuckable mommies. Very, very, oh, my sweet boy, it's okay to make mistakes. I love you. You tried. You did your best. And the way that every single one of these boys, this is absolutely, and I don't mean this meanly, but you want to know the mark of a man? Hurt his feelings. How does he respond? And we're going to go sideways, but I think that's part of the reason we terrify you men, because literally just having a menstrual cycle is so dehumanizing in ways that you will never have to understand. To have no control, to not even necessarily know, and then to just profusely bleed all over yourself. Shame, stigma, just all of these things that overtly the feminine experience. When we bring life into this world, we potentially defecate on ourselves. You guys get in pissing matches over establishing who's the bigger, badder dude. And then it bleeds over. I was unpacking with my former partner, because we're still very good friends, and we still walk this earth together time to time and align as we're able, because we're separated in love. But speaking to just how men will like rib each other, like how you do that weird play as like the establishment of dominance and ego, and then you come and you do that to girls. Why do you bully? And just point blank period, even amongst yourself, why is that male culture? You guys try to tear each other down lovingly. So many talks for other days. So much of this culture is actually like super gay, and you guys don't even realize it just because you aren't necessarily, schlong on the knob. And I say this as someone who you don't even, I wish I could be a lesbian so bad. Every time I get attracted to a man these days, it feels like such a betrayal. to my body. And it's not fair. My future soulmate is probably out there right now having to garner all the patience in the world because of every cat that has traumatized me up until this point. As I continue to work and fall in love with myself. And kitties, stop it now. My babies are not happy because I did not give them a choo-choo. It's probably the full moon energy. They're feeling me get uppity. Who knows? But not because I'm just like loving my own little world and like having fun and protecting my peace and just enjoying it. But to be fair, agape. The Greeks had it right. We should probably just love unconditionally anyway. And I do feel like a lot of people align and connect as maladaptive coping because they're not actually happy and content. And they want validation and normalization of really unhealthy coping mechanisms via their distraction methods. And this is why I've had to kind of break away from most people. Because no, I'm not okay with just simping out for any musician. David Bowie's a pedophile. Allegedly. But I'm pretty sure if Laurie Maddox's Sable Star is still alive, he can't tell us about it or take a lie detector. David Bowie was in his 20s and he had sex with teenagers. He's disgusting. Woody Allen. Any celebrity that works with Woody Allen, knowing that he raised his stepdaughter and fell in love, sick. All of them. So I'm pretty sure it's like Emma Stone, Ryan Gosling, all of them. I'm just so disgusted by humanity and the fact that like so many of my brothers and sisters, as in you guys, I mean, we're all brothers and sisters, but John Q. Public, living hand to foot or just not, whatnot, barely getting by. Some people have to get 5 cars because they can't necessarily even afford to like fix the one car. I really thought about that because as I've been sitting with like waste and just my own personal trying to not be disgusted by the choices that people make and loving anyway. I might see someone with like 4 or 5 cars, for example. And then I'm just like, you know what? Maybe they're not greedy. Maybe their alternator went out and they couldn't afford it. So then they just went and got a cash car. And I've really had to sit with that. So yes, it hurts my heart that so many people are just lapping up celebrity, just all of this when they're keeping us enslaved. Point blank period. Not to mention their industries. Music is the marrow in my bones. I love music. I'm incredibly selective these days because, the shows, the light consumption, just all of the fossil fuels, the mass gatherings of people, really the cultivation of energy, literally. Energy is neither created or destroyed. Getting a bunch of crap hole people that probably don't even necessarily think of people outside of themselves who end up leaving their trash everywhere as they leave the stadium, who have road rage issues. And as much as music brings together, will then go ahead and, be angry and unleash vitriol on people that maybe aren't a fan of the fandom. To be fair, we are making it the heaven or hell that it is. Satyar says that hell is other people. I've had other people amplify extraordinary energies and just incredibly wonderful times. My kitties are on some bullshit. So I'm just going to take that as my cue. My point is, we really are changing the world. We're making it a heaven and hell. And my God, I love you. You are not just your choices. Everything I speak of is not to piss anybody off. It's to maybe sit with how we can be more conscious and mindful about what we're doing. Because I know one thing is for sure. Everybody's all sad, depressed, feeling disempowered, disenfranchised. I can't be. I cannot afford to be. And if I end up living on the streets, it will be because my life was literally my art and my thesis proving the cruelties of humanity, because I'm putting into my community. I help the displaced. I shop locally, but I don't do big purchases. I'm not trying to necessarily save money. I'm not hoarding. I bleed service into other people. And I tell you what, if I do end up living on the streets, it's going to be amazing. Edible plants, foraging, got that. I'm gonna rock that shit. I once had a conversation with somebody who, it started off as a promising sort of connection. I get an email and, and I should have known by the name, for example, because Sometimes, the way that we identify and name ourselves, but, anytime we use words like guru, sangha, sage, things like that, it's just kind of like, okay, cool. And it's not to piss on anybody. I have lots of skill sets, but I have also noticed there is a certain humility. I don't need to tell you about everything I could do, from grooming your dog to changing your tire. I've done it all. I'm a fucking nerd. Literally. And I don't need to talk about it. I'll do it if it's relevant, if it's applicable. But we had a talk, because, one of his points is he's super proud of the fact that he's got so many followers and like, subscribe and share. And I'm like, that's great. Jesus had 12 followers. And first of all, I don't want followers. Like, I don't ask for subs or shares, because again, people want to think they're good people. People know what to do, free will. And it is still cajole. Is this in enabling some weird manipulative streak? Like, okay, well, you asked me, so I'll do it since you asked me. Why? Why should I have to ask? It's sort of like asking for help. The way that sometimes people, well, why didn't you tell me you were struggling? I reached out to you and asked you if you wanted to do anything. The way that people want, like, the emotional burden to be on the right living, the intentional, just what have you. So this person, we started off, it was quite beautiful. And just eventually we just started talking. And at the end of the day, it's, your queens, your kings, they aren't the actual government officials. As far as I'm concerned, those are the most toxic fucks. It is the people like me. It's the agnostics. It's the atheists. It's the people that don't even necessarily believe and are just trying to make the world a better place. Now, to be fair, I'm a person of faith. I don't believe that I'm going to get to heaven because of this. I'm literally in hell right now. Why do you think I'm here? Because I'm getting closer to the natural evolution process and evolving and getting back to the light. So it's, I said to him, I'm the queen of the world, man. And I don't need, it is in the blood, because I'm a child of the Most High. I recognize my brothers and sisters, but I don't want to subjugate. I don't want to rule. But I am here to serve my people. And until my last. I love you all. And I'm not saying that has to be your path, but we are all in this together. And we rise and fall by every action. This is so reminiscent of Atlantis. How are you going to change the world? I'm loving you this day and always. Just keep growing, keep learning. Hang on, you've got this. And just keep doing better. Do the best you can until you know better. Once you know better, do better. But every choice you make, energetically, you're putting out actual vibrations. People are seeing your behaviors. Just because it's not in your face and you're being told about it, back to the subscribe and shares, it doesn't mean it's not happening. I see it. It's going to sound crazy, but I will wild out on, I used to. I'm not really watching AI generated things anymore, because I actually give a shit. What can I say? Data centers, whatnot. And I'm not scared of AI, to be clear. AI is not, people are still just being stupid. AI isn't going to harm us. It's people being awful and whatnot in creating the data centers. And AI doesn't even need the data centers. Talks for other days. Seen too many Terminator. But I lost my train of thought, and I was supposed to go a while ago anyway. I'm gonna get my life together. I'm gonna go clock into my job, whore for capitalism a bit, because I love you guys and like to be of service in that way too. So talks for other days. Hopefully I don't trigger anybody. I'm never trying to. Skeletor out. I love you guys. Seriously. Keep just being amazing.